You and Grandpa met at Kansas University. Tell us about K-State and your dating years.
Well, our first date was a blind date, and actually I was a senior in high school, and Dolan was a friend. A friend of mine was dated a fraternity brother of his, and she sort of fixed us up, and the blind date did not go too well. He says that I fell asleep. We went out to this place to dance, and he says I fell asleep and put my head on the table. But the night before had been my senior prom, and I had been out kind of late that night, and I might have done that. But also, he didn't talk to me much, and didn't ask me to dance. But a year or so later, we got back together through a mutual friend, and she said, oh, he might like to go out with me. So we went out and we had a good time, and pretty soon we were going steady, and the rest is history, as they say. And anyway, we were married while we were still in college. And that wasn't unusual in those days. Lots of my friends were married while they were in school.
Grandpa, I heard that you and Grandma eloped when you got married. Tell us about that.
Well, that'll be fun to tell that one. Let me think about that for a minute. Okay, you just heard Grandma tell you about we were dated for a while and so forth. But anyway, about the time I was about halfway through my senior year, we started talking about getting married, and decided we probably ought to do that sometime here in the near future. And so at Christmas time, we went. She went home to Kansas City, and I went down to Kansas City for the basketball tournament to watch it, and stayed with a fraternity brother down there. And while she was home, she talked to her mother and father about getting married. And as I remember, they said, no, but heck no, you're not going to get married. You're going to stay and finish school, and you're going to teach school for 2 years, and then maybe we'll let you get married, or something like that. So then her parents took off to go visit somebody. I don't know where they went, and so she stayed in Kansas City, and I was there with a friend, fraternity brother, and she was really mad at her parents, and she said, well, let's get married anyway. And being the obedient little slave that I am, I said, yes, dear. And so we went the next town, and then just west of Kansas City, you change states. You go to Kansas, and so she said, let's go to Olathe, Kansas, just a few blocks away, but it was a different state, a different city, and nobody would know. We'll just get married over there. So we went and got a marriage license over in Kansas, and this is over the Christmas holidays. And one of my friends from home, Mr. Garrett, the father of one of my friends, was down there for the basketball, and I didn't have any money, so I knew he was in town. So I found him, and I said, will you loan me $20? I didn't have any money, and he said, sure, I'll give you $20. I'll loan you $20, and so we did. I got the money from him, and we went down to Duck Walls or some dime store like that and bought a wedding ring for, I think it was $6. It was platinum aluminum, and had a piece of glass for a stone in it. And on January 2nd, we went and got married. And just Pat and I and the preacher, and I guess the preacher's wife was there to witness it or something like that. And then we didn't say anything to anybody, and we went back to school, and kind of lived like single people, like we had been living. But one of Pat's mother's friends happened to see in the newspaper Letha Patricia Craven got married in Kansas. And so she called my mother-in-law and said, "Hey, Letha," that was Grandma's mother's name, Letha, and she said, "Hey, Letha, I see Patty got married." What? Something, well, we weren't there, but I can imagine what the conversation went like. So all heck broke loose after that, and Mrs. Craven was calling Pat and giving her heck, and Mr. Craven got a hold of me and said, "I hear you're going to be on the train coming through here in a few days to go to Michigan for a track meet. I want to talk to you." And so I didn't want to talk to him, but I didn't have any choice. So I got to Kansas City that night on the train, and he pulled me off the train and he said, "You better behave and you better treat my little girl right, and I don't think very much of you." And it took us quite a while to change his opinion on that too. But anyway, and he says, if you misbehave, I'm gonna have your hide. And well, we managed to agree to all that, and nobody got killed over the deal. And so he let us go about our business. We lived as single people during my last semester in school, and I got out of school and went to work, but nobody knew we were married until August, and her mother decided we're going to have to announce it or something like that. And we did. And my mother didn't know we were married, and my father didn't, but they weren't near as excited as her parents were. Anyway, that's what transpired to get married. But I went to work down in Oklahoma, and she had to stay in school she had another semester of school to do, and so we didn't really live as married people till, wow, it was, I don't know, 1950, nearly 58, something like that. Anyway, that was fun. Thanks for asking on that one too.